I'm Paige Nestor with Creek House Honey Farm, and this is Katie Andrews, our chef on site. And today we're going to show you how to put together a charcuterie board. We started our charcuterie or cheese tray boards when we opened our winery to go with our mead. We wanted something nice that would pair well with what my husband brews at the farm. And so we're going to show you how to assemble those today. So when we first started the charcuterie board idea, we kind of decided to just go with what we could find, and that's what I would recommend to you, is find what you can in your local grocery store. If you want to kick it up a notch like we did, I would suggest that you go to a marketplace like Eads Meats to find a really good local meat. We decided to start putting a smoked pork tenderloin that my husband smokes at the farm and a sausage that Eads does in-house on the trays instead of processed meats. We wanted something that would be a healthier option choice. I wanted to serve something to my customers that I'm willing to eat too. And this is a tray that George and I have been doing for years. He would smoke a pork tenderloin. They stayed good for about a week. And we would just keep it cold in the fridge and pull it out, on nights when we didn't feel like cooking. It was a great alternative to, a big supper. It was just kind of something light that we could munch on. And the kids love it too. So we decided to, on our charcuterie boards, put 4 different types of cheeses. We have a green chili or a jalapeno, something spicy. And then we have a dill Havarti, which is a really good addition, and a cheddar, and a Monterey Jack. And then we decided I just have always loved pretzels, and I think they're really good with honey, and so we put pretzels on our tray just for the heck of it. And we kind of kicked it up a notch with the broken cracker that just makes it look fancy. And then along the way somewhere, we decided to start making our own pecans. And so at the farm, we make a honey roasted pecan in-house. It is so good. It is super delicious, made with our local fresh honey. And also a hot and spicy pecan, and some salted roasted almonds. And then we do have a dried fruit option with the apricots. And then to get a really good berry, you just want to make sure that they're in season. And so sometimes we'll switch them out throughout the year. Like if blackberries are in season, we'll put those on. If strawberries, are good, then we'll try those, because we really want the fruit to be nice and fresh. And then, absolutely, to kick it up a couple more notches, putting some fresh local honey. We have our hot and spicy honey, and we also have our regular honey. And right now in season, we don't sell it right now, but we do have our honeycomb, and then some fun chocolate pretzels, just to go good with that mead. Mead is not wine, it is fermented honey, and so it's similar to wine, but we add the fruit on the back end of mead, so we're going to ferment it for 6 to 8 weeks, and then add that fruit juice base to the end of it. So it's not like wine in that you start off with a fruit and it's fermented from the start. So it can be dry, it can be very sweet because it is a honey, and so we just wanted to pick some kind of salty things and that would go and pair well with some of the sweeter meads, and then also the sweeter fruit that would pair good with the drier mead. And of course, the dark chocolate always goes great with wine, and so it goes great with a lot of our mead. So when we are extracting honey, and we're doing that right now in farm, we do it you have to think about when the flowers are in bloom. So we get a bloom starting in probably late April, May, and then through October, because we move them around to crops. And the crop we're on right now is cotton honey. It's really floral, really sweet, but we start extracting end of July, and then we continue to extract until the end of October. And the honey process, I don't know if you know this about bees, but one bee in her whole life produces 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey. So it's very minimal. It takes 10,000 bees to produce 1 pound, and this is a pound of honey. They also have wax glands in their body, and they actually make the wax that they store the honey in. And honey is its own food. It starts out as nectar, and then they add pollen to it, they ventilate it so that it thickens up, and it actually goes through a chemical change to be honey. So bees are the only insects in the entire world that produce their own food. And so this is a superfood. It is so good for you. I mean, this stuff will heal a burn or a wound really quick. You can eat this, you know, you can swallow the wax or choose not to. We have a lot of people that come in that want this and have used this as candy. And so it is kind of a rare commodity as far as, especially the Panhandle of Texas goes. You know, we're really dry here. So we do put it on our cheese trays. We put them in these little plastic guys, and it hurts our hearts when people don't eat it, because it's so good, and it's so good for you. Adding the honey to the tray just helps your flavors. I like to take my pretzel and dip it in some honeycomb, or even like the almonds are super good. It gives it a sweet and salty flavor that almost everybody likes. And so, and the meat too, you know, you can take the pork tenderloin, and we actually smoke it in the hot and spicy honey, but then you can take it and dip it in, and it just kicks it up a notch. It's so good. This is our final product, and if you come to the farm, you know, this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a beautiful tray. We try to keep all of our fruits kind of in one area, and the colors just pop out on the tray. And then we add little ramekins and things in different areas to create texture and just to make it look pretty and fill up the space. And I always tell my girls that are assembling trays, like, make sure it's full. And that's something you'd want to do at home, especially if you're having guests over. Now, if it's just you and your kids, you can choose. But if you want to make it look artistic and pretty, then you'll want to kind of color coordinate and coordinate things together. It doesn't just need to be thrown out. It needs to be sort of organized so that people can pick and choose what they'll like to eat. Some people don't like their food touching, so you kind of have to take that into consideration too. But that's how we do it. We kind of try to make it symmetrical and just to look, you know, great as a presentation of art too. People, when they're looking at their food, it's all about, you know, the taste is about what it looks like. So it makes it really good. And the cheese tray at home, as long as you've got, you know, enough things to fill up the tray, it's so easy to assemble. You can always get pre-cooked meat. I mean, the sausage from Eats, they have it in the refrigerated section, so you can just go in and slice it up. It's super easy, especially if you're scared to smoke a meat. And I'm sure they have other options in there too. Everything else you can almost get packaged. So, I mean, we sell our honey roasted pecans at the farm. We sell our hot and spicy pecans. You can come get our honey to put on. If you have little ramekins to put it in, that would be great and easy and fun. And the cheese, I would always suggest that you buy it in blocks and cut it yourself, because if you buy it already cubed in a bag, it's gonna have extra preservatives added to it that you probably don't want. And it just, I don't know, hand cutting it just adds to the ambiance of the tray. Holidays are here, and this is a great time to step out of your comfort zone and try to make something really nice for your guests, your family and friends. You know, now that we're able to get back together and celebrate, this would be a great welcoming, you know, gift to those guests that are coming over to your house.